Welcome back guys to the new game review, and today we have the Frosthaven. Frosthaven is an amazing game, in my opinion considerably better than its predecessor Gloomhaven and definitely worth it if you have a deep, almost puzzle-like turn-based tactics and meaningful progression of characters and your main base, the outpost, over the course of a story-rich campaign. Highlights: these scenarios, levels where the turn-based combat happens, are all very creative and linked to the ongoing story development through special rules or specific objectives. A scenario can be a simple kill all enemies scenario, but most of the time it's not. And even when it is, it usually has a unique twist on the hit. It pays off to take a moment to observe how the scenario rules objectives fit into the story as to appreciate the flavor and maybe predict what may be behind the next door or after the next milestone. The playable characters, including the 6 straining ones, all have a very unique playstyle. This means that playing with other characters and switching at some point to other characters is a natural progression in the game, really refreshes things, and that multiple playthroughs can be very different. A lot of the fun and enjoyment is also figuring out how you can play your characters and optimizing their performance. You will notice you get much more better with your characters over the course of the first scenarios you play with them. Note that even individual characters can usually be played in different ways, such as a range or melee build. Word of caution to new players: this is a proper early access game, as in, not all content is there, roughly 30% I would say. In a year time we'll go for full content, but also there will be bugs or things not working yet as instead. Still, it's definitely playable, nothing game breaking for me, and future content updates are planned to be compatible with ongoing campaigns, as in you don't need to start over from beginning. The learning curve is steep, each character is very different and is getting used to quite some scenarios. Also, the combat system means there's a lot of going on. 10 plus cards in hand, with tops or bottoms and all kinds of mechanics and icons. And there is also often scenario specific rules. I would advise to spend some time going through your character cards to get an idea what you can do with them, or even watch a short guide on YouTube when you start. It can definitely feel overwhelming in the beginning. This is an adaptation of very complex board game, and particularly the character progression and the outpost phase in between the battles. It's not any clear in the current video game interface. You can of course click buildings and see what they do, but the underlying rules on buildings, upgrades, resources, retirement, etc. are hidden now and will just happen to you. This makes it difficult to get a clear idea of progression path. I would, for instance, in case of retirement, be flexible in going back to a previous autosave once you realize how it works to then be able to make a decision based on the rules. Loss of gold that could be in soul spent on the upgrade building, loss of potions that could have been decomposed, etc. Feedback to the developers in early access. To reduce the steep learning curve, I would definitely include the tutorial scenario where only 7 cards are available for each starting character, maybe even simplify some of the cards slightly where needed. I would make more use of tooltips in the outpost screen, particularly for the resources, how they are not shared, what they can be spent on, and things like moral, defense, inspiration, etc. These to clarify what they are for and how they can be adjusted. Also, the outpost attack phase can be explained then a bit, with a defense tooltip, including information on, for instance, the outpost defense model deck, which I now had to get from my physical game rulebook. Personally, I'm a great fan of having the option to respec a character, mainly in level card choices, as it encourages experimentation with the options for a character, which is part of the fun of these games. I know it's not the normal rule, though there is a variant stated in the physical rules. I would be a big fan of integrating that option, also in the campaign. Keep up the good work, enjoying it a lot. Some areas are also reveal a kind of aesthetics that suggests the development team hasn't played the game before. For example, many cards featuring the character Shimmer Blade have both fast and slow effects. The board game version shows the bonuses debuffs for both fast and slow states on the left and the right sides of the basic ability, while the digital. Many of the icons in the digital version have been redesigned, their meaning unclear. This fixes a bug that made them difficult for the players with experience in the board game to identify. Not to mention, the game now uses a mix of icons from the board game and the digital version, creating a sense of confusion. The character modeling art style is a matter of opinion, but I personally feel it's still a far cry from the board game. In summary, the early access phase is currently the praise of content, buggy and poorly translated, but the game is incredibly fun. I love the puzzle series and want to try it now. Most of the issues mentioned above will definitely be addressed and improved in the future updates after receiving good player feedback. If you're not so eager to play, waiting for a few months will definitely give you a much better experience. Playing Puzzle Harbor first is also a good idea.